Oh, I'm recording again. I don't want to record right now. No. It's good. Loving camp right now. Absolutely loving camp. Alrighty, well, per usual, the sun is going down and I am headed out to camp right now. It is 16 degrees Fahrenheit, whatever it is Celsius here. And yeah, we're gonna go hot tent camp. Let's go. Well, it's gotten cold. It's got down to 14 degrees, so I'm gonna bundle up here. I'm gonna put on all my cold weather gear once I get to where we're gonna go. I'm paying right now for camping because even when it's off season, you gotta pay. You gotta pay for the conservation, keep these parks opened up, so we can use them all the time. Well, let's go find a camp spot. Since it's out of season, I can pretty much camp anywhere I want to. Let me show you where we're at, what we're looking at. We're at Arrowhead right now, and whew, it's cold. I don't have any of my stuff on yet. I didn't want to acclimate in the truck, but look at that. Oh, it's gorgeous, isn't it? We're gonna camp way over on the other side of the hill. All right. I hate to sound even a little bit bitter about where I'm camping, but it looks like they closed down, maybe due to the weather, but it's all flagged off. I can't get into where I normally camp at, back by the water on that side, so I can camp on the water over here. We're gonna go take a little look at it and see what it's like. I mean, take a look and see. This isn't bad. Camp here. I'll try to camp right here. I've got view of the water over there, and yeah, this will work. I've got wood I still have to process. So I went to a friend of mine's house and bought wood from him that he had processed. Isn't that awesome? You know what this bundle of wood cost me right here? $5. So I bought 2 of them for 10. That's awesome. But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to help support my friend, so I had some wood already at home, but yep, wanted to support him. Wolf pump. This is their pro version, which is also like a light, a battery bank. I'll show you guys more about this when I come around to it here. It says on the bottom of this, it says like deflate, and then on the other side it says like inflate, so you know that you're not gonna put it on the wrong end over here. It's pretty neat, pretty easy. Now, cool thing is a light, like so you hold this down for 5 seconds, it gives it power. There's a light on the inflate side, so if you show up to camp late and you're trying to see what you're doing with your tool, no problem. Look at that. And then you just hit the button. This thing's a monster. Got cool thing about this guy is I can pull this thing off here, put it in the bag, pull out its cover, stick that cover on. Oh, that's almost too bright there. Woo! Sitting on this Atepa Pack Light H9 sleeping pad. I feel like it's really going to give my Thermarest a run for its money. This is my third camp out with it that I've used it on. This is the first one I've recorded. It comes with this pretty cool bag. It says its name on there, and it's also one of those pump bags. You can flip it around and make it into a pump. But it just says outdoor equipment, Atepa, Packlight H9. I like it. So far, it's been a really good pet. I slept on it so comfortably. What else do I have that's... Oh, and I inflated this with that Ettenwolf, this guy here. If you see it, I've got it in light mode right now. I actually have it on like a sling pulley system that I made up that goes all the way up to the top of my tent. I can just pull this little string and I can raise and lower the light, because I'm also using it as a battery bank. So yeah, it's an inflator. On the other side, it's a deflator. I'm using it for the light. It's a battery bank. Oh, it's kind of sweet. I've had some other companies reach out and ask me if I want to use their stuff, but honestly, I'll be 100% honest with everybody out there. I'm trying to move my channel more to sustainability. I don't want to buy throwaway gear, throwaway items. Hey, look at this, the newest, the latest, the greatest. There's some things that I'll always show when they come out with a new version, like pots and pans, you know, because there's always different pots and pans for different types of cooking. And camp stoves, because let's be honest, I love camp stoves. I collect them. So I'll always show those. But when it comes to like tents and stuff like that, I'm happy with this Luxe Octopeak. I've had it now for 3 years. I'm really happy with it. I did buy a new tent yesterday. I ordered it. I'll show you guys that when it comes in. I purchased it with my own money. And the biggest reason is because it's a bigger tent. Y'all know my youngest son, Dorian, is 6'4". Look guys, he's not fitting in this tent with me. I'm not a very big guy. I'm 5'9". I'm 5'10" in a pair of boots with a good lie, if you know what I mean. I'm 5'9", solid 5'9". My kids are just big. And my wife and I, we're the shorties of our family, so our kids are big, they're tall, all of them are. So yeah, this type of setup right here isn't conducive. It's just not. The Octopeak is good for one person in the stove. And if you're like me and you like to have your chuck box and all your gear over here, and then I have my tarp over here with like just kind of my personal items like my cook pot, and you know, I've got my coolers underneath me here with my food. I'm gonna process some wood tonight and keep busy while I'm reading. I mean, this is a great tent for one person. 2 people, 3 people, if they're little guys, like when the kids were younger, we could use this, and it worked great. But we had to sleep on cots on the ground because we couldn't really like use a or not cots. We had to sleep directly on the ground and no cots. I sleep on a cot if I can in the winter time, because I'm going to spend a lot of time in here, and I want to sit up, and I want to process wood, and I want to read a book and lay back. But really sitting up in the sit position is comfortable when you're feeding the stove, staying warm. And like this instance right now, my knees are wet from kneeling when I was coming in and out, and I processed some of this wood to get the stove going, trying to get all this stuff laid out. My knees got wet. So I can camp one of 2 ways. This right here is more of a car camp style. I could sled this in, I could drive this in, and I can do some ultra lightweight winter camping where I'm just bringing in my sleeping pad, my stove, my food, and my tent. I'm just relaxing. My goal tonight is to read and feed a stove and, you know, eat, and then have some good breakfast, and then relax, unwind a little bit. Those are my goals. So I'll bring you guys along with me, and I thank you for coming. It's always fun. It's always good to see you too. Strange thing happened. I came out because I heard a noise, and there's a road up there, and there was just a car just sitting up on the road. I don't know if they were just fooling around or what, but so here is my Lux Octopeak. Oh yeah, we're turning and burning. So I'm gonna strip down a little bit. It is getting very, very toasty in here, especially when I'm sitting right in front of the stove. But I also have a full insulated Carhartt jacket and then an insulated Carhartt hoodie. It doesn't really matter the brand, it's an insulated jacket. It's just when I say that, usually that lets people understand that it's a really heavy duty jacket, really heavy duty hoodie. And then I'm wearing a flannel with a thermal layer underneath, and it's because it's 12 degrees outside and I would rather pull stuff off that's layered instead of you know, be cold. I'd rather be comfortable. Now I'm going to process some of this wood that I have, and then from there I'm going to cook food, because this is pretty much, oh my gosh, it feels so amazing in here. This is just what I'm doing, hanging out. But hot tent camping, if you show up late to camp or if you're just burning a stove, that's part of the process. Processing wood, you need to stay warm, you know. So that's what I'm doing. And then we'll get into all the good stuff where we make some food and chillax. And I'm actually just using my good old Bahco Laplander. I mean, I know I have some other saws, but you know, I told you guys I'm trying to really work towards being more sustainability when it comes to my channel. And you know, there's nothing wrong with this Bahco. In fact, if I don't like the blade, I can actually order another blade from Bahco for the Laplander. You know, I do like my other silky saw as well, but yeah, this Bahco is good. There's nothing wrong with it. And I really need to focus on that instead of somebody saying, hey, do you want to try this? You want to try that? What if I don't? You know, what if I don't need it? My goal is to share my outdoor experience with you guys and just those good camping vibes, you know, not, hey, buy this, hey, buy that, because I'll be honest with you, I don't like buying a lot of stuff either. My money is just as sacred. I work for it as well. So I do tend to spend more money than maybe the average Joe on outdoor gear, but this is also my hobby. I don't really drink all that much. I don't gamble. I don't have any other weird, you know, hobbies. I like to read and, you know, do outdoor things. So I like to talk to my camera in the middle of the night while I'm cutting wood. I'll tell you guys one thing for sure. If you're out here hot tent camping and you're cutting wood, you ain't getting cold. That's for sure. I feel good, but I'm starving, so it is definitely time to get some food going. Oh yeah. In with this skillet, I keep my little firebox stoves cutting board, because it fits. I mean, why not? Love this thing. Get it warmed up. I'm gonna get the brats put in there now. I bought this cool tripod that I want to try to use. This is it. So essentially what you do is you just slam it down on the ground, and then the bottom of it opens up, wow, like that. And then once it's down, excuse me, you just pull the piece up and set it wherever you want. So I'm gonna put my camera in this guy. That's from Craft Geek. And excuse me, I'm also eating some spicy Tapatio Doritos. I love them. Anyway, I'm gonna switch my camera around here. Oh boy. How do you like that? Oh, that is perfect. Oh man. All right, that's awesome. Wow. That is awesome. That's cool. Problem is I have my my deal plugged in, my media mod, So my audio is always a little messed up with the media mod. I also brought a whole can of loose leaf tea. You never know. Jalapeno cheddar brats. I'm gonna put a little bit of water in the pan when I cook them. More onion, more onion. We're gonna add, actually, I'm just gonna dump the whole thing. Red peppers and green peppers. And we'll let them all cook into there. Yeah. The reality of it is, I have this beautiful glow from the stove, and I have the lights off. And I'm reading a book. My book lights up. It's a Kindle Paperwhite, so it's just a book, but when I'm not recording, this is what it's actually like inside the tent. You can hear the snow coming down. It's beautiful out here. Absolutely beautiful out here. Okay, so I turned the light back on here. I gotta put some of this food away, but what I wanted to show you guys is once I have these peppers that kind of all cooked down, this is what I wanted, because I'm cooking them really slow. And I had this leftover Prego, which is a traditional sauce. Now I'm gonna put this Prego sauce right on top of here. Okay, now that I've got the sauce in here, I'm gonna let this simmer for probably about the better part of an hour. I've got these paper plates here that I was using. I'm gonna cover them up like that. I'm just gonna let it simmer. And boy, they're gonna, oh my gosh, they're gonna be so good when they're done. Well, you'll be here, you'll see it. I almost forgot to add some more garlic powder to it. And some Italian seasoning, because why not, right? I love this little seasoning kit that I got from my buddy Jason. I don't know if he still offers it, but it's livethewoodlife.com if it's on his site right now. But if you like the simple things that just work, it's a great spice kit. And it's lined with leather, so your little glass vials don't smash into stuff. I love it. The only downfall is I wish that the cap sometimes was easier to open, because in this really cold weather, my hands do not like to work that great. They just don't. I have arthritis in this hand right here, thanks to getting it stuck in a piece of equipment years ago. My wife bought our sons these, and these are absolutely amazing. I love them so much. She actually went out and bought me a pair. She bought them online on Amazon. They're Okupa brand, and they are rechargeable. Go long press them here. Rechargeable hand warmers. Look at that. I've got them up high right now, and they have these little wrist retention straps here, and so you don't lose them if you're doing stuff. And let me tell you something. I was at a camp years ago with some friends of mine, and my hand got so stiff. My sons, my two youngest, had to tear camp down because I couldn't use my hand. In fact, my hand hurt so bad that the pain was radiating through my wrist, my elbow, into my shoulder. And it was actually making it hard to breathe because the pain was so bad. I got the hiccups. But she bought these for the kids because Keegan's hands always get really cold. And we were actually at my dad's house visiting for the holiday, and my son Dorian brought his because he got him in his stocking for Christmas. And oh, they feel so freaking good. Anyway, he handed me one to try it out, and I was like, oh Lord, that's nice. And she bought them, and you know, sometimes Amazon is so quick. They here at least here they are. They came the next day. But yeah, so I kind of envisioned that I could use these like for this. I could probably turn these things on and put them up, you know, like on medium or whatever else, and maybe stick them in my socks when I was out hot tent camping. Or, you know, gosh, they feel good even if you just put them on your neck. I don't know, they're just awesome. I love them. I love them. And I brought them along with me. It's really warm in the tent right now. I'm going to turn them off. I don't want to waste any of the battery. But I brought them along with me really for the morning, because I'll let the tent kind of cool down overnight. I'm not going to like feed the fire a whole bunch when I'm sleeping. I've got a 40-degree below zero sleeping bag here, so I'm not concerned about staying warm while I'm sleeping. But when I do wake up in the morning, I have no doubts it's going to be cold. And I'll get up and I'll get the fire going. But in the meantime, I'll be able to enjoy these, and my hand won't be as stiff. And I don't know, just one of those creature comforts that I'm on board for. So yeah, Ocoopa, OCOOPA, USB rechargeable hand warmers. I don't have any others to really compare them to, so I just know that they're awesome. They feel great on my hands, and it's all that matters to me. I don't want to use all my light here because I'm also using this light as my battery bank when I go to bed tonight. So, testing it. Even though it's mine, I'm still testing it so that way I can tell you guys, yay, nay, don't waste your money, or it's not a waste of money. So, yeah. Oh, give this stove another big chunk of wood. Yeah. Yep. This has been good. So good. This is what I wanted. This is what I needed after coming back from a busy holiday. What'd I miss? Oh, you want to put Doritos on it? They want me to put Doritos on the same. I'll put Doritos on it. I don't care. But my buns were... There we go. That's a lot better. Buns were almost frozen. Okay. Here we go. We're going to grab the brat. Scroll up and see my comment if you can. What I miss, Chris? Are you telling me that you don't have a pack of emergency bushcraft tactical bacon in your kit? You know what, dude? You know what? I don't. Yeah, this is kind of a... How am I going to do this? Here we go. Yep. Oh my gosh, it's so messy. have my feet on either side of the stove right now, just keeping me nice and toasty because the temperature's dropped. It is, see, what does the Weather Channel say? The Weather Channel right now says that it is 3 degrees. So it's 3 degrees Fahrenheit outside. And I'm in here making freaking Italian sausage and talking to my phone and my camera. So anyway, I'm gonna put my phone away and I'm gonna pick up my book and I'm gonna read. I actually want to finish reading. I'm like 97% done with the book. And my wife and I went to the public library today. You see I've got a book back up there sitting that I want to start reading. So, all right. We'll see you guys before I head to bed. The temperature is 3 degrees outside right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and be a little proactive. I'm going to fill my little fire maple kettle that I have here with water. And I'm actually going to put water in my percolator as well here. And the reason why is, like I said, it's 3 degrees outside. And once I load this stove up the way I have it now, I'm going to let it die out. The stove coals should bank pretty good. So if they do bank, I should be able to stoke it and have a pretty easy fire tomorrow. But if they don't bank the way I'm hoping they do, I've been trying to work them towards banking them by moving them over. I'm gonna have frozen water, and my water's in a jug, not in my my regular bottle that I bring, because I left my bottle at home and had to pick up a gallon jug on the way out here. So there's that. It's always one thing, right? So I'm putting my kettle and my percolator over here on the side of my stove. I'll show you. Like so, in the hopes that if they freeze, it'd be a lot easier to get that water to thaw out and be usable. I don't normally have this issue because I normally use a metal jug to keep all my water in and it never freezes, but that's at home sitting on my kitchen counter. I forgot it. But I've got the stove loaded up. I've got the baffles all closed down so it's burning slow. The phone is going over here on this fun little tripod that I have. I'll show you. It just slides in here. If you're gonna be able to see it or not, but it just goes like that. I'm just gonna leave it there to charge. This is, like I said, kind of a fun little tripod I've been using. But that's gonna charge from that light. GoPro here is actually going to go in the sleeping bag with me. And I had a light on in your face. We'll see you guys in the morning. Take care. Whew. It's -4 out. Get the stove going. It's 7 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, it's chilly. I'll get my hoodie and stuff on and warm up. The water that I put, it all froze. I'll show you. So we're gonna warm it up. It's gonna take a few minutes here, but we'll be back. I'm gonna cover up my skin and everything until it's warmer in here. Well, I've got the fire going. I was able to bank some of the coals so I could stir it up and put some more kindling in there and get it going. It's -4 degrees out. It's pretty chilly, but I'm staying nice and toasty in my sleeping bag here. That's kind of what you do when your stove goes down. You bank your coals, and you know, this is hot tent camping. It'll be nice and toasty in here in no time. But until then, it's just a few minutes of, I wouldn't really say misery, it's just chilly. You know, you've got your warm sleeping bag and you're bundled up in it, and you're not very far from the fire, like I said, so. Still see my breath a little bit. Not bad, right? Barely see it, maybe in the light. But barely, it's warming up quick. Fire's booming. Look at this thing go. It's catching. It's catching. Hopefully you don't mind this bar in front of us here. It's time for some percolated coffee. I'm using a filter in my percolator. Mainly because when I bought this thing from Coletti, they sent filters with it, and kind of used them ever since with this guy. I've been working on my percolating coffee here. Doing a different coffee. I'm doing a different grind. This is just the regular grind for a coffee maker. Maybe I'll use my spork just to help keep it from going everywhere. Anyway, so issues I've been having with making percolated coffee, and I don't think I've had this issue in the past. I think it was honestly the grind I was using. Just getting a lot of coffee in my, it's probably enough, maybe not. Just getting a lot of coffee and grinds back into my coffee itself. I know that in the past I've had conversations with friends, and they've said, you know, hey, if you boil it too hard, or if you're over boiling or whatever else, then it'll make the grounds obviously come up. So I've made sure that my water level is good on my percolator. I keep it underneath the vents in the stack. I make sure I'm putting my coffee in the basket before I put the basket in the pot. So I don't know why I've had issues with percolated coffee of late, but there it is. Now I'm using the light to charge my GoPro. This light has actually been, it's not even a light. This Wolf inflator, deflator, battery bank light has been freaking awesome. I wish they offered it in a body of, like, you know, some tans or some greens or something, but hey, I'll just be careful with the light. It's gonna look dirty. I've been still munching on my chips, but I'm still full. I don't even know why I've been munching on them. I'm still full from dinner last night because that was a lot of food. I've just been reading. I think I might, because I'm just about done with this book here, I think I might actually burn what I've got left of wood and start packing up. I've got quite a bit of wood left, but let's see what the temperature is out now. -7 because it's so windy out there. It's still early. It's 8:30 in the morning. We have a high of 11 degrees today, so I don't know if it's actually going to hit 11 with the wind, but it's 28-mile-an-hour winds, it says. So, but in here, It's nice and toasty. It's almost a little too hot, but I don't want to say that too loud. I don't want that stove to hear that and think it needs to go out, that's for sure. But I've been just relaxing. Gosh, this is a good respite. This is what I really wanted. I was really busy over the last week and over the Christmas and New Year holiday. It's a busy week for me, working for UPS and also working as a youth pastor. So those days tend to keep me quite busy. My green tea froze last night. I got this to finally thaw out. I just stuck it underneath the stove and just kept spinning it, you know. You know what I mean? So back here, it's fairly cold not really in the corners, but the radiating heat coming off the stove is amazing. And I think to myself, I would like to get a large version of this stove. Just because, told you guys, I don't know if I told you guys or if I told the live. I'm pretty sure I told you guys. I ordered a larger hot tent, just mainly because my son Dorian is 6'4", and when he's camping with me in a tent like this, it just doesn't work. So it's not very comfortable. It's very, very crowded. He's a big dude, so I ordered a bigger tent, and I'm not gonna order a big stove because I bought the tent, and you know, stuff's expensive out there. It really is. It's expensive. So if I don't get a new hot tent stove this year, I'll save up and buy it over the summertime so I can have it for next fall into the winter. So no big deal. Lord knows I've been just fine for the last few years with this stove. It's treated me really well. I do have two stoves. I have this one, and then I have that a little bit bigger one. It's black. I usually use that one in my Tejiman. That's the hammock hot tent shelter I have. I use that one for Dorian and Keegan because they're both, you know, so tall now. But I'll be honest with you, it really sucks to go to like the Midwest Bushcraft Show or something like that and set up numerous, you know, setups. Just, I wish I could just go and set up one setup and then we're good. We can all just, you know, habitat together. So that's the plan moving forward. Those are the goals. When I'm out by myself, I'll be using my Lux Octopeak. There's nothing wrong with this tent. It's a great tent. Yeah. I like it. Oh, that's good. It's a slow perk, man. It's just what you gotta do. Don't get in a rush when you're percolating coffee. Just give it that nice slow perk. It just tastes great. Oh, man. Just warms up the whole body. That and the fire helps. Mm-hmm. The coffee is nice. So, I'm out here just really living into this stove, man. It's doing such a great job. And I've been reading. I finished my book that I was reading. I have a paper book that I'm going to be reading next. But kind of a cool thing about these, this is a Kindle Paperwhite. I've had this one since 2017. October of 2017. That's when I ordered it. Now, I'll tell you something about it. I like now that I finished reading the book, I highlighted and I bookmarked some areas of the book that I liked. So now I'm going back through and I'm kind of rereading some of my favorite parts. Like you kind of maybe have a favorite part of a movie or something. I get to go back and kind of revisit that a little bit. And knowing the way that this book ended, it's kind of cool to go back and revisit some of those characters. I'm reading Raymond Feist. This is The Magician's Apprentice. But, you know, I mean, to each his own. I mean, what do you guys do when you go out into the woods or whatever you do? You like, you know, when camp's all set up, when you relax. I know some people like to watch movies, and sometimes I do. I really like to read, though. I like to freshen up on my skills, but, you know, when it's -7 degrees outside and it's windy and everything's nice and compact in here and you're just feeding the stove and drinking coffee, this is the way to go for me. I do love paper books, so don't get me wrong before people say, you know, paper is better. I love paper books. I have a paper book right there. But I got an e-reader because traveling back and forth for work, I was destroying my books. I was absolutely destroying my books. And, you know, books, some of the books I read are really thick. So to put that on top of my lunchbox to take it back and forth to work, you know, it's cumbersome and it can destroy your book. And I want to keep those books looking good because I want to revisit them as well. So this little guy right here is good. I have thousands of books and I can just take them with me, and if I really enjoy the book, I buy the paper copy. So yeah, to each his own. I do need to upgrade this though. I've had it for a long time and it's starting to kind of slow down a little bit in certain areas. Like when I open up a book, it'll like sometimes flicker, but you know, just some like little odd idiosyncrasies. When I get a new one, I'll probably do a review on it for those of you who may be interested in, because this is something that I firmly enjoy when I'm out camping. I turn the backlight off and it's just like looking at paper. This is e-ink. So if you do like to read, you know, or if you're on the fence, you know, for something like this is an older version, but I use it. It's like a truck. It's got miles on it. You know, definitely put the pages through it. So I enjoy it. Okay, well, there's a insight into a little bit of my nerdism that I have. So cheers. It is cold out here. Look at this water. Water's frozen. I don't know how solid. It's got to be pretty solid, I imagine. Let's see. Yeah. Yep. It's like somebody was out here walking on it. It's pretty frozen. My camera is doing some weird stuff, but let's see. There comes some cars. Cars love to drive by and stop and see what I'm up to and see what I'm doing. And rubberneckers. This is where we're at. This is where we spent the evening. Betty's over there, and okay, it was nice to come out here and get a breath of fresh, cold air. Oh man, it's so much warmer in here. Ah, feels good. Feels good to be back. Feels good to be back amongst that. This tripod is amazing. It packs up to be like this big, you know, about that big around. It has a remote on it if I pull the remote off to use it. It's got a really wide stance. It's a 3-legged stance, but I can, you know, use the I'll show you guys more of this tripod in a separate video. I'm a real big fan of this tripod. I think it's been my best purchase that I made in 2024. Even though I'm not using it until 2025, I'm happy with it. I'm very, very satisfied. just because I tend to do a lot of hiking, moto camping, bike packing, hot tent camping, whatever it may be. I'm an adventurer. I like just to have adventures, and those big bulky tripods just don't work out for me. Now, I'm not going to tell you to go out and buy stuff, guys. That's not what I'm doing. But I'll tell you this, if you're a creator and you're looking for a tripod that's not as bulky, this may be something you want to check out. It's called Craft Geek. But I want to keep on using it. I will do a whole video on it in my next video, because I have been enjoying it. So the follow-up video will be on this Craft Geek. I love this thing. I'm probably gonna buy another one just so I have it, because that's my freaking tripod. Like, how awesome is that? Love it. I will be doing a video on this guy right here. This is that Atepa Pack Light 9. I absolutely love it. It keeps me super warm. It's super lightweight, but you can already see like the different layers that it has in there for insulation. I wouldn't really call them insulation. It's more like heat reflection, but I stayed super warm with it and I'm happy with it. I'm gonna do a kind of an in-depth review with this to explain to you guys why I ended up getting this, and how I store it, etc. Because I think it'll help you have more longevity with your sleeping pads as well. Don't run into the problem that I ran into. We'll do this. Okay, it is that time to start taking down camp, and I'm actually gonna go start the truck up because it is very cold out. I want to make sure old Betty's gonna start up. Woo-hoo-hoo. She started up, but tell you what, that was a rough start. The truck says it's 3 degrees, so that's fine. That's fine. So I was just pulling the cot and stuff out where I'd been sleeping, and cleaning up the ground area. It's really freaking cold, so I can't record any of it because all my devices just start shutting down. Check this out. This is what I found. Found a penny on the ground. You can even see that. 1945. It says 1 cent on the back. You can see that. That's kind of cool. It's gonna be my lucky penny. 1945. It was, who knows how long it's been on the ground. I know I didn't have any pennies with me. Make sure the stove is nice and cold now, which has been out here sitting. Yep, nice and cold. They're frozen in the ground. Tap them. They should pop right up. Yep, and they do. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Don't forget to tap them. If you don't tap them, you're gonna hurt yourself or rip your strings. Tap them, pull them up. So everything's back in the stove. Close it up. It'll all close up on itself. Like that. I have the tarp up on top of my tent, so I usually just stick the stove right there. That way I close everything up. Oh, I got a hammer back in there. Hot tent stove, everything in there. I got my cot, got my really awesome click chair in my chuck box. That's it. Okay, so we are back in the truck. These hand warmers are, oh my gosh, they're so awesome. I used them last night when I was just kind of relaxing in my sleeping bag. They warmed up my hands really good. My hands weren't really cold, but they were just kind of like a comfort thing. Kind of see how my hand's red right now. I've got that scar that goes, it's kind of fading now, but it goes all the way across my hand here. My hand was cut in half years ago. I had some tendon repair and artery repair and stuff like that, and I can use it. I've been a mechanic, an industrial mechanic, 25 years, so I can definitely still use my hand. These right here are a lifesaver. These Kinco gloves, while they do work well and keep my hands warm, can't speak to the quality of them. I just feel like once they start breaking down, they're gonna go to crap. My other gloves that I've had for a lot of years, I gotta see if I can find them, that brand again. I actually gave those gloves away 2 nights ago to a homeless man. I'm not looking for any praise or anything, but that's just the truth. I went into the downtown Omaha area to pick up my son Dorian and his buddy who were out just kind of hanging out. They're on Christmas break and stuff, like Christmas, New Year break. And they were downtown in the old market area, as we call it. And there was a homeless man on some steps right across from me. And I was in my truck, nice and warm and toasty with a heater on. And he was not. I don't care what problems he's had. It's not for me. But I know he was cold. And I helped out by giving him my gloves. And I thought to myself, it doesn't matter. I've got these new gloves that I haven't even really used. And they're crap. So I got to go find some other hard use gloves. And that's just from setting the stove up. I noticed they were damaged before I even took the stove down. But anyway, I'm rambling. Thank you guys so much for coming along with me. It's warmed up a little bit. It is now 5 degrees Fahrenheit. Woohoo! And these things are great. If you don't have electric hand warmers or rechargeable hand warmers, oh my gosh, go get some. They're amazing. They really, really are. Oh yeah. We'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.